What is going on, guys? Whoa, that is loud. What is going on, guys? And good morning. These intro songs, they're just not long enough. And let's see. All right, good morning, guys, and thank you so much for coming back to the morning show. We got something wrong here. Thank you for coming back to the morning show, and this is going to be about you today. So whatever you want to talk about, make sure you call into the show. Add me on Skype, LpoLi1622. That's LpoLi1622 on Skype, and we'll get you right onto the show. So we're going to get this logo off, and then we're going to transform ourselves super big. There we go. All right. So this show is really unorthodox because I set it up within minutes after getting home. I'm still in my coat. I just got here, and that's why you see me eating, because I'm working all night long. I just got to get me something to eat. I got to. And what a cool little gimmick, though. It's a morning show. May as well have some morning some morning breakfast. How's everybody doing out there in the digital world? There we go. Now we're starting to sound just a little bit better. One of my kids must have been sitting up here messing around with my switcher board. The treble's up super high. We got Panda Poopy in the chat. We got Black Note Studios Aaron. What is going on? Easy G, good morning. We got a special co-host guest on here today. He's one of my favorite content creators. Morning Lunch. That's right, dude. We got one of my favorite content creators, and his name is Fatal. We're going to get him on the show here in just a second. He's going to help me co-host this show. But we got an interesting new thing, which is I'm going to bring it up. Hopefully he can help, ride the show a little bit while I get rest of the stuff set up. But we got a way for you to leave a message. Instead of being able to, if you can't call into the show, we got a way that you can leave a message, and that way you could, say whatever you want to say without having to call into Skype. And so it's almost like leaving a voicemail, but you don't have to give a phone number. You just record in a web browser, and then you just hit share, and you can share it with me in a private Facebook message, private Twitter DM, or share it to my wall on Facebook, or my feed on Facebook. I don't know what they call it. What is it? The wall. That was MySpace, wasn't it? So really cool thing. And I got a couple messages of people that left some messages, and we're going to play those today. You Are Godsmack, John, and Peter. We're going to play those here in just a little bit, and then if you're interested in possibly doing that while the show is running, go on over to my Twitter and look for the retweets and the tweets. I've tweeted it out like 1 million times, and so if you guys want to go ahead and leave a message while we're doing the show, and I'll be more than happy to play it. But today's show is going to be about you. You want to come on, and you want to, now that's Mouth Off Thursdays, all right? Mouth Off Thursdays, say whatever you want to say. Get your butt on the show. Talk about your YouTube channel. Talk about whatever's on your mind. Whatever's on your mind with gaming. But I'm super stoked and super happy that you guys are here. Fatal says, oh, MySpace. Good morning, Peaceful Gamer. How you doing, bud? We're going to go ahead and get Fatal on the call here. So just give me a quick second. Adol.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
How you doing, buddy?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you, sir.
Hey, that's good to hear, man. It's good to hear. I saw your message. You just got done eating breakfast yourself. What'd you eat?
I had some delicious Tim Hortons English muffins for breakfast, along with my coffee, which I'm still currently drinking.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to get me a refill here in a little bit because I'm almost out of my coffee. But yeah, man, I'm super happy to have you on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Fatal Mephisto, formerly known as Bear Hugger 29, who used to be No Man's Sky content creator on YouTube. And I miss seeing him on YouTube, but you know what? I've been on Twitch here lately. I'm on Twitch right now.
So you're live on Twitch too?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna have to follow you over there.
Yeah, and they just offered me affiliate, whatever that means. So
there you go.
That's pretty cool. I'm gonna have to click on that and see what that means. Let's see. So what do we got in the chat here? So, Adam. Did you sneak in here, Adam?
I snuck in. Yep, it was me.
Hey, what's going on, dude?
Cobra, like a ninja. What's up?
What's up, ninja.
Buddy? You can't keep me away.
That's right, dude. That's right. Hey, man, I'm glad you were able to make it to the show. I think Sundays you told me that were the only days you could make it, so I'm really happy.
Yeah, I'll be able to stay for a little while, not the full hour, but yeah, I'll be in here. Okay,
that's good. That's good. We have a couple messages that I'm going to play in a little bit. And I think I might have you and Fatal probably ride the show while I get my coffee filled. And then when I come back, I'll see if I can get that set up to where I can get everybody's messages played. Now, you guys aren't going to hear it. But everybody watching on the streams will be able to hear it. You just won't be able to hear it through Skype.
Okay.
That'll work.
I'm going to need your channel for Twitch there, Cobra.
What's that?
So I'm going to need your Twitch channel.
Oh, it's the X Cobra.
Oh, the X Cobra. Okay.
Yeah. I was hosting you for a while.
There and you then are.
Yeah, I was hosting you, and I didn't know what that meant, but it it said host a channel or something like that, and I'm like, okay, well, Fatal.
Yeah, basically what it does is that like anytime whenever I go live on Twitch, it's basically like when somebody goes to your channel, they're gonna like actually see my stream since you're hosting me.
Oh,
yeah. So it like rebroadcasts his channel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, isn't that taking traffic away from the person you're hosting?
Not necessarily, no. It's actually, in a way, it's kind of good. I mean, yeah, it kind of does, but at the same time, it also gets people who may not know me, who know you. You know what I mean? Like, be able to see like that you're hosting my stuff, and they'd be like, "Oh, hey, cool. I like this dude. Let me go and sub to this guy or follow this guy over here on Twitch." So it works actually pretty well. A lot of people on Twitch use it all the time. So
I wish YouTube had a feature like that. Still waiting for that.
They're just getting replay chats now on
I noticed that. YouTube's a little behind the times, but
they're
trying.
That's something that's relatively new.
Yeah, people have been asking that for a while now since YouTube got into the whole live stream aspect of things.
So, Fatal, what games you been playing lately?
Oh boy, oh man. What have I been playing? Well, since I've recently got my Xbox, about 2 months ago, actually, I've been really playing a lot of stuff on there thanks to Game Pass. So I was able to play like games like Recore, Gears 4, a lot of the essential Xbox's exclusive games and whatever you want to call it. But I've also discovered a few other games too as well, thanks to their game preview program that I've been raving about, like games like Deep Rock Galactic.
Oh man, I am in love with that game.
Yeah,
me and just Jared have been like playing that pretty much every night for the past week.
Yeah, really? That game,
a lot of fun. Yeah,
that game really took me by surprise. And the funny thing is that everybody that I've spoken to never heard of that game, but yet Microsoft themselves during their last year's E3 event last year heavily promoted it and did its own segment on that show during their E3 briefing. So I don't know, the game blew my mind. Like I wasn't expecting a very, very deep game there. Yeah, and it's just that game is addictive. It's so addictive
because there's just so many ways to play. Plus, you got the different classes, and when you jump in with the friend, or even just random people, it adds a whole new. Yeah, it's crazy. And the crazy thing is, it's still like an alpha from what I heard.
Yeah,
and it's so polished. Like for $25, this could be a complete game. It's insane.
I mean, I know why they put it in game preview mode though, in early access wise, because I did run into a few times where I would load in with a friend and we get a black screen for a few minutes and eventually the game would go through. There were a couple game crashes here and there, so I understand why it's still there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of bugs, kinks still, but for the most part, it runs relatively well. Yeah,
exactly, absolutely, way better than the other actual games that I've played on early access.
Oh yeah, I played a lot, and this is by far the best, smoothest running experience.
Did Cobra? What?
I think he went to grab something, or I don't know.
No, I'm still here. I'm still here.
Oh, there.
Oh, okay. Because I just saw another call pop up with you or something like that. What?
Oh yeah, I think that's Jared trying to get on the show, Cobra.
Is Jared trying to get on the show?
Yeah. He didn't know if he was supposed to call in or if you'd call him, but yeah, he's available. He said so.
Sea of Thieves is one game that I played over the weekend for the final beta, and I've been in that since the closed beta came out. And
how's that? I watched some gameplay. It looks really cool.
The game is, man. Well, I mean, if you've actually see the way people look at this game, they usually just trash on it. And it's really unfair to trash on that game because that game is extremely difficult to really explain to someone exactly what you're going to be doing in that game. Just because of the way the whole concept that Rare is designed for Sea of Thieves. Now, I've seen a lot of people, including journalists themselves, claiming that it's going to be the next No Man's Sky as far as like the way the game is designed. And that makes no sense to me because like the world is not procedurally generated. So yeah. I think they're mainly looking at it from the aspect of like, nobody knows what the heck you're doing in the game. Kind of like what, you know, at the beginning of, during the process, the development wise, when every time when that, you know, No Man's Sky got brought up, it was like, oh, what do you do in this game? And then like even Sean Murray's like, well, we don't really have an answer to that. You know what I mean? So, but the thing is, what really bothers me with a game like Sea of Thieves, like I'm super, super excited for it. I mean, when I played it through both closed, the 2 stresses, and also the final beta, finally got to experience it cooperative wise with like me and 2 other friends, and that is the best way to play it. I mean, you can play it solo, but you have to have a tolerance for boredom if you're going to play it solo.
Yeah, because like you control a ship, right, and you have to control the rigging, and it's easier to do with other people, I'm assuming. Yeah,
exactly. And the thing of it is that what a lot of people just went based on what they saw via the beta. Like they automatically assume that the beta is just like you only have one type of mission quest, being gold hoarders, that allows you to go out and just dig up, you know, treasure boxes, and that's it, and that's all you're going to be doing in the game. And I keep telling people, and it's like, no, there's tons of videos on the internet, there's tons of websites on the internet that explain exactly what you're going to be doing in the game from 3 different types of quest givers. The main goal of the game is just to reach the status of being an actual pirate legend. That's the main, you know.
So you just like explore and kind of craft your own adventure and then level up and whatnot with your friends.
Here's the thing, and this may sound rather corny, but this is kind of what Rare is going for with this game. The game is basically essentially you tell your own stories, right? There's no main narrative story behind the game whatsoever, so don't go into the game expecting that. What you are going to do though, or eventually run into, is these scenarios that are going to basically play out where you as the player or the team that you're playing with in your crew are going to be telling this story. Like there's tons of times during the final beta when I was playing with my 2 other friends where we ran into these moments in the game that equate to a chapter of a story, if that makes sense. I know that sounds really lame, but if it didn't happen out that way, it just doesn't make sense to me the way I look at it. I'll give you an example. There was one part in the game where we had a quest that we had to go and we had to capture 2 types of pigs, right, on an island. And so we went and we found these pigs, and they disappeared out of the cage, and we had no clue as to why. We thought maybe it was a beta glitch or something like that. Yeah. And what it turned out that you're supposed to feed the pigs. You're supposed to feed the pigs bananas, and we didn't know that. And the thing about Sea of Thieves is that the game doesn't explain nothing at all.
It doesn't like hold your hand. You have to find things out yourself. Yeah.
Not even tutorial prompts and nothing. You have to figure everything out on your own, right? And I love games that do that because it kind of gives you more of the freedom. But what happened was, though, is that it turned itself into its own story that happened in the game itself from my own eyes. And I think that's what Rare is trying to do with this game. And they've told people several times through interviews and video interviews and so on and so forth that they want players to create their own stories. And you're going to see a lot of random stuff in this game as you progress to reaching that pirate level. And believe me, just like me and my friends playing for about a good 3 hours in a live stream, we must have came across 4 or 5 different stories that happened throughout the course of that just led into hilarity, sadness, and a little bit of anger, but not from that standpoint, but like anger from the frustration of what we were doing. But that's what makes Sea of Thieves so special, at least to me. Now, I know a lot of people out there don't care for the way the game looks. It looks too cartoony, that kind of stuff like that. But judging a game based on the way the developers chose that art style is kind of dumb, in my opinion.
Yeah, you have to get in there and play it for yourself. I always tell people, don't worry about the reviews. Like, get in there, buy it on Steam. If you hate it, return it within an hour or whatever. Just try it for yourself. Yeah,
and plus the fact that this is a game that's going on Game Pass, and if you own an Xbox, or heck, even if you don't, you can still get a month of Game Pass and download the game on PC because you can just play anywhere. So if you don't want to dish out the $60 or $80 if you live in Canada like I do, you don't have to. Pay $10 for a month of Game Pass and give it a shot and see for yourself. It's actually a very well-designed game. Definitely very refreshing compared to the stuff that we're getting today. And you know what I mean? But it's one of those games that you have to go into it with and use your imagination. If you don't want to, if you're not a person that don't care to use your imagination, you don't care about pirates, man. Pirates is not really your thing. You're going to go into this game and you're going to feel bored. You're going to feel disappointed. It's not going to be your cup of tea. And you're just going to basically slag the game off or just say, it's not really, I have no interest in it.
Are we talking about Sea of Thieves?
Yes, Sea of Thieves.
That's only Xbox, not PS4, right?
No, but it's also on PC as well.
Okay. It's like more of a Windows title. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Windows 10.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about Agony. Agony releases this month, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yes, it does. Yep.
What consoles is that for, Cobra?
PS4, Xbox One, and PC, I believe.
Yep. Oh, sweet. Yep. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So there's an interview here from some WCCF Tech, whatever, man. Why would you name your website that? Whatever. So it talks a little bit about the inspirations. The game was initially scheduled to launch in the second quarter 2017. I want to talk a little bit about a couple points in this interview here, but so to what degree fighting enemies will be important in Agony compared to, for example, trying to avoid them? For the most part, players will have to avoid enemies as much as they can, but after learning more skills, the understanding world of the game better, they will also learn how to control demons, use them to their advantage. For example, when you see the area guarded by demons, you will have to possess and take control of one of them and use his strength to clear the area from the enemies and unlock the secret path. And the later part of the game, the player will be able to choose what gameplay style fits best with him and explore the world of the game as a martyr or demon. So sometimes the player is going to have to possess stronger creatures and just completely destroy everything that blocks them from getting to the specific areas. And it's often given free choice for the player of how he wants to experience the game world. Run through the floating forest and kill everything on your path, or explore every area and find more about the world and creatures. Now, what's cool here is, they ask about the Red Goddess, which is the main villain in the game. And but if I could find it, what's the estimated? Okay, this is interesting. It's not good. What's the average estimated game length from your play session? So standard playthrough in the story should give you about 12 to 14 hours of gameplay. But if you want to unlock all of the 7 endings, alternate passages, hidden chambers, and collectibles, you will have to spend around 35 plus hours in the story mode.
Wow.
But here's the cool part. This is where I'm going to be spending my time. The game also has Agony mode, where you can play endlessly in a procedurally generated levels.
Oh.
That's where I'm going to be, because if it's procedurally generating things, it's going to, if it's always randomly doing it, you don't know what you're going to get, and you're going to have loads of explorable areas of this scary place, disgusting place. So that is one of the things that I wanted to bring up with Agony, is Agony mode.
Well, that definitely adds replayability. Yep. I love when games add those different modes on there.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I was super worried when I saw the 12 to 14 hours of gameplay. Super worried.
But I mean, even that is a lot of gameplay. I mean, I know it's not multiplayer, right, Cobra? Like, it's not co-op or anything. It's just a single player experience.
Right.
So even 12 to, what did you say?
12 to 14 hours.
12 to 14, I mean, that's still a lot of playtime. If you look at like Call of Duty, I think that campaign is what, like 8 hours or something. Sometimes, but it has the multiplayer on that. But yeah, that's still a lot. But I can understand if you're going to pay like $60, you want kind of a little bit more there. So that's cool to know that they're adding that game mode.
Right.
Because you can just play that forever, basically.
I want to get a couple callers on here. Dave wants to come on, so we're going to get Dave on.
Did Jared pop in?
Jared?
Yeah, I'm here.
Jared, why didn't you say something, Jared?
Well, I mean,
snuck in too.
You were talking, so I just sat here. Reading Twitter,
What's going on, man? How you doing, dude?
It's going okay. Nonstop on Twitter recently, last 2 days.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. So, a lot of people have started following suit to that, and I think that's pretty cool. And I know for a fact Hello Games has had to have seen the Say Hello messages that everybody's been putting out.
Yes, I think there's almost no way they could have missed it. No, there's 350 upvotes on No Man's Sky Reddit. Like, wow. I think it's the most upvoted. Even if you just type
that into Twitter, just say hello. If you type that, there's like 400 posts that relate with No Man's Sky. So they definitely have it watching.
I can't believe how it kind of caught on. I didn't think it really would. But I figured I'd make a video because after you and me talked, Adam, a few days ago after Cobra's last subcast, I was like, screw it. I'm just going to record it and upload it and see what happens.
I'm glad you did, though. It started conversation. I made a video. I think Fatal. I watched your video last night. Cobra made a video. So yeah, it's definitely catching on. So hopefully we'll see and respond to it.
I just posted it on the CSD forums as well. So we'll see what happens.
Very nice. Yeah, because I saw Cobra's first video when I woke up yesterday. And then I saw him retweeting a whole bunch of more videos coming out, and I was like, you know what, man, I gotta make myself a video because I know if I don't, I'm gonna be doing not only the community, a disservice, but on top of that too as well, my love for the game and also for Hello Games and Sean Murray and everybody else. So I was like, you know what, man, because I don't have a camera, and I felt bad because I think the videos that I saw, everybody was on webcams, so I was just like, oh, you know what, I'll just put No Man's Sky in the background, then I'll do my little my message. So
right,
glad it worked out well. Glad that it worked out well.
So a couple of the messages that I ended up getting, if you guys want to send a message, record a message, you could share it via Facebook, Twitter. If you don't want people to see it, you could always just send it as a private message over Facebook or a private DM on Twitter. But all you do is you just simply record it. Let me see if I can get, I'll show you guys later, but it's easy. You just go to the tweet that I have on Twitter, and it just has a record button. You record, you speak, and when you're done, you hit save. And then at the bottom, it's got 3 sharing options: Facebook, Twitter, and something else. I can't remember what the other one was. But it's a really cool way for people to get on the show that can't call in, don't want to call in, but you want your voice heard. Now, a couple of the ones I'm going to play right now is, when we, Jared, and a bunch, when we made those videos, the Say Hello videos, we weren't really asking for an update. What we're really asking for is someone to be, for the developers of Hello Games to have an open line of communication with their fan base, like every other developer. Exactly. Even, Rockstar is the most secretive one of all. But if you go over there to the social club and say, "Hey, Rockstar," and say some, they'll answer back. Plus, they have the social club period, where they communicate with their fan base, they show things, they showcase other people's tracks and things like that. And that's the kind of involvement I think we're looking for with Hello Games. Some kind of direct involvement. So, but the people that are asking for updates or asking for screenshots, I don't look at that these people as being selfish. It's like, if you have a favorite band, I think somebody mentioned this somewhere, but if you have a favorite band and you want another song, you want to hear a snippet of a song from the new album, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. And
that's exactly what some of these people are essentially doing. They're not being impatient. Actually, they've been pretty patient, but also sharing the screenshot is just another way that they see, that they interpret as, being communicated with by Hello Games.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think it's damaging to the company to say nothing. They did the right thing by saying nothing in the beginning, but it's over with now. You know what I mean? Like, the dust has settled. They did it. It's a success. The game's great. It's great. So I think coming out and getting involved with the community, I think and Waking Titan is that, but it's indirect. It really is. It's indirect. It kind of feels.
I mean, and there's a lot of people that don't know what Waking Titan is, and they don't follow the ARG. It's just too confusing. I'm one of those people. I get my news through you and Just Jared and people like that.
Same here.
But
Same
just
here.
to have like screenshots being shared by Hello Games, or
but it feels
just,
like
random tweets would be great.
Yeah, exactly. Or like a video, like the way they do with Star Citizen. But
even Hello Games used to make these random videos about Joe Danger. Like, I went back on the YouTube channel and they had very low quality, low budget videos of just like a camera on a tripod, like capturing the screen with like the back of two developers' heads just talking about the mechanics.
Right.
And then No Man's Sky launched and it just it's only like update trailers now.
Yeah. Me personally, I don't want to see parts of the game. I just want to see the way Star Citizen handles their YouTube channel would be amazing. Not that extensive. One video. Hey guys, what's up, you Nominats, you Nominatis? What's going on, you interlopers? We're working hard. And just, here's what we're going to try to do. And here's a person from our community who made an awesome base. Check this out.
Exactly.
And maybe Sean Murray's traveling through the base and looking at the base, and Sean Murray says, "Hey, that's a great job." 5-minute video goes by, and they go, "All right, we're gonna get off of here, get back to work." That'd be cool. Yeah. That'd be really cool.
And they have so much things that they could talk about, like previous updates that they could just go over and tell how they came up with it, what obstacles they ran into.
Oh yeah,
they have a lot of content, a lot of tweets, a lot of screenshots. They could just share a random screenshot. Yeah. There's so much content they've made they could go back and talk about. We don't have to have like the secretive stuff they're working on.
Right.
But we just want to be a part of the ride when they're developing this thing.
And I tell you what, all the haters that they're afraid, I'm not going to use, I shouldn't use the word afraid. All the haters that they're trying to avoid, they're not the ones that are important. There are people that are clinging to this community, and they're the ones that are important. So ignoring the haters is essentially accidentally ignoring the lovers of the game. You know what I'm saying? So it's
it's like they act like they're the only ones who have haters. Now, I realize they got death threats and things like that, but every other gaming community has haters. You got Fortnite, Sea of Thieves has haters because it's cartoony. Every day there's people tweeting at these companies saying that their game is crap, or whatever it may be. They just have to accept it and deal with it, I guess, generally. Yeah. I think Adam said it best in his video, is that if we had to choose between the next update or communication from Hello Games, I would choose communication from Hello Games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They gave us an ultimatum and said, you can have the update today, or you can have communication from here on. You can't have them both. I would still pick communication.
Yeah.
Look, I know everybody that's watching this live stream would probably disagree with me, but I would give an update for steady communication.
Like give back an update. Like take this back. Give us some communication. You know, give it to us again in a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, imagine all the stuff that we could talk about if Sean Murray talked for 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Like, the way he talks is like, man, you have to decipher almost every word that guy says.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Okay, I'm going to play 2 of these messages that are concerning Hello Games. The other one, I don't think is, but you guys aren't going to hear this over Skype, but people on YouTube are going to be able to hear it, and Twitch. So I'll let you guys know when it's over.
Okay.
Yes, hello, Sean, Murray, and other coders, of course, from Hello Games. This is Peter from the Netherlands. First of all, I really like to thank you guys for making an awesome game. That you guys have made some great updates. But I really hope that you guys will have more communication with your fan base. That would be awesome. I'm really looking forward to what you guys will be making next, but it's also time that the game will stand on its own. So, Sean, please communicate with the community. Greetings from Peter.
All right, there we go. That was Peter, and we're also going to play one from, I believe, his brother, and his brother's a big fan of the show, and his name is You Are Godsmack. And he's probably in the chat. I haven't been looking at the chat, and I apologize, guys. I've been other screens. But here's what I'm talking about with You Are Godsmack. He wants screenshots and things like that. But that's just another form of communication. So I'm going to go ahead and play. It's 13 seconds long.
Sean Murray, You Are Godsmacked here. The community wants something, man. Give us a picture. It doesn't matter what, but give us something, please.
Okay, so he said, give us a picture. It doesn't matter. Give us something. So I think what we're looking at here is not having the communication. And this sounds really weird saying this. It just sounds like we've been tossed to the side. Or it feels like we've been tossed to the side to a lot of people. Abandoned, you know. But I know why their intentions are that way. We got one more, or why I'm speaking weird English. Sorry. We got one more from John I'm going to play, and his is 1 minute and 6 seconds.
Cobra, it's John talking to you from this cool little link you sent in Twitter, the SpeakPipe service. Hey, I want to just check in with you. It's been forever since I've been on a subcast or talked to you directly, and I want to say thank you for staying at it and keeping the ball rolling, man, because it's totally cool that you're doing that kind of stuff. And I know I've been on you here and there for a chance to wing up with you in Elite Dangerous. I hope you'll take me up on that. I really want to be your Chewie. I want to get on there and just kind of gently guide you through the simulation, frustrations and anguish that is an unforgiving rule system like Elite Dangerous. So again, thank you for giving me this opportunity to leave a comment. Keep doing the good work, man. I saw your post to Hello Games, and I saw your show last couple of days, and you're just killing it, man. You're knocking it out of the park. Thanks for having me on. We'll talk to you real soon. I'll get my Skype working, and we'll be on real soon. Take care, man. We'll talk to you later.
Awesome. And that was John. Good message there, buddy. Thank you so much, and thank you for the kind words. I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the chat so that way people can leave messages if they want to, get on the show, get on a pre-recorded show too. I can put these in all the other videos as well, so it doesn't have to be the live show.
I think that's a really cool idea, though, like having people be able to leave those messages.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking about it. Like, there's got to be a way, because a lot of people, they're just nervous to come on the show, or they don't want to, or they don't want to use Skype because they think Skype sucks. And it does. I'm just a noob when it comes to Discord. All right, a noob. I don't even know how to create a group chat.
Well, I do now, but I thought it was super confusing, but it's really easy. So, but yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. I'm just the comments that are on, all of our videos Everybody, a lot of people are in agreement. There's hardly anybody that disagrees that Hello Games just needs to communicate. I just don't see why they won't. I don't. It's just confusing to me.
And when we say communicate, we're not saying instant message people like I am, we're just talking about a tweet, like a picture, or we're not expecting like these long drawn out one-to-one conversations or like these phone messages. We're just asking for a tweet here and there, or maybe an update on their YouTube channel, or just random stuff like that, them retweeting something. We're not asking for like a handwritten note. We just want some form of communication from these guys that we've been following for a long time, and we support their game and we support them as developers. We just want to be a part of that and let them know that we care about the game and get feedback from that.
Zachary Hunt says blogs would be nice, maybe once a couple of weeks or once a month, but teasers might be going too far. I agree. I don't want teasers unless it's something that's not supposed to be hidden from us. Like, what if they have like some kind of ship customization project and they want to get feedback from us rather than guessing what we would want? So, like how Elite Dangerous will show how they're making a ship, and they'll show the different stages that it's in. Like, here's the concept stage. Then they move to the architecture stage. And then they move to the functionality stage. And it'll show its progression to where it's going to be live and it's going to be released into the game. So something sort of like that, I think, would be kind of cool.
I think you go ahead.
I was just going to say, with GDC coming up and with that segment, I forget who's the person that's supposed to be there again?
Yes.
Who knows? We might end up hearing something then, during that little show or something like that, or maybe they might actually include this little stuff that's going on right now with the whole hashtag say hello. You know what I mean? Who knows? They might add that in their presentation. We'll have to wait.
I hope somebody brings that up, just like out of the blue. Someone says, "What do you think about this hashtag?" Just throw that out there,
right?
And see how he responds.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be amazing, man. I just think, I don't know, maybe they got a lot on their plate, with GDC coming up there in a couple days, and we'll have to wait and see. But I'm praying that everything is going well for them, and I definitely want to see the support continue with this game, because I think everybody does. I mean, like, when you have a dedicated, passionate fan base and dedicated, channels out there that want this game to succeed and want this game to get better and want to see more content from this game and whatever the case may be, I do agree with everybody that I think Hello Games definitely just needs to be a little bit more vocal, man. That's all. That's all we're asking,
Go ahead.
I don't think, when I tweeted that thing out yesterday, my video, and then the subsequent everybody else tweeting their stuff, and I was retweeting it all, I kept getting people saying, just be patient, GDC is coming up. I 100% doubt we're going to get anything out of GDC for two reasons.
No.
One, because it's not live streamed. It's not a live thing. It's not meant for the public to begin with. It's meant for game developers.
Right. Yeah, it's more like a developer to developer talk, like a tech talk.
Yeah.
And but there is always information to pull out of there. Like Sean Murray, that's at the GDC last year. That's where he announced about Hello Labs, and that's where he also announced about continuing the terrain, improving the terrain, and among some other things. So we can pull stuff out of the GDC talk. However, with Inez talking about why they changed to procedural generation after launch, I think will give us a little bit of insight to some problems that happened. But, I'm sure that there's going to be something that's going to be said that we can run away with and chat about for a little while. Yeah. Keep us busy
for the next 3 months.
Yeah. Well, so that's 5 days away, and I can't wait to see what this is going to be. What we can pull out of it. Marky Mark, he asked a question. So, are you not able to read the replies to your tweet, or are we supposed to record? Well, it's cooler if you record, but let me go over here. And you said, looks like you got a question. Do you think Hello Games was told by the PR manager or lawyer not to interact with the community much because of how negative the launch went? No, I do not. No. I think that was a decision based on them, and it was the right decision at the time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It served its purpose, but it's ran its course.
I just wanted to add super quick to the reason why I brought that up as far as GDC goes, because it was I think it was about 4 years ago when Cliffy B did his little stage presentation. He actually included the dedicated fan base behind the love for Gears and whatever the case may be. So that's the only main reason why I was just bringing it up.
Gotcha.
I mean, even Lawbreakers, which Cliffy B created, has had more of a bigger voice. The developers have had a bigger voice in the creation of that game than No Man's Sky.
Yeah,
and that game is kind of like it's kind of dead at the moment. It might come back if they go free to play, but I would like to see just like random maybe concept art for older builds of the game, you know, of the different aliens or the ships they had, just concept drawings, just random stuff like that. It doesn't have to be new content that they're working on. Just anything to keep us occupied until the next update. Then we wouldn't get so antsy, because we'd have this stuff to look over and talk about and this lore to explore. That's what I want.
I wouldn't call that number if I were you there, Blue Screen Gaming.
Wait, what happened?
Oh, no, somebody in your chat was saying that somebody found the phone number for Hello Games.
Oh, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. We got Hidden Panda on the show. What's going on, dude? How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Doing great. We're bringing you on the show today, dude. Panda. Oh, he hung up. We also got Dave. Dave just joined the show. What's going on, Dave? How you doing, buddy?
Is that me? You talking to me?
Yeah, Dave.
When I was sitting here listening to you guys talk about communication from them, that's what made me want to call in.
Okay.
What bothers me about that, and I totally agree with you guys, but what bothers me most about it is the amount of effort it would take from them is so minimal, and yet they still won't do it. Mm-hmm. We would take almost any little crumb they would give, and they still won't do it.
Yeah, it's like takes 5 seconds to send a tweet.
Yeah,
and I know they're busy. They're developing. They want to speak with their actions, not words. But yeah, I mean, they could even just a random, tweet from Sean. I mean, he tweeted what, Sean Curry or Prawn Curry, and the internet went wild. Just something random to give us something to talk about and speculate about. Anything, a random emoji, what he ate for breakfast. I don't care. A picture of a rock that he came across heading to work.
I mean, it's definitely the hate, and that's why they're not talking, and we know that because when No Man's Sky launched, if you go all the way back, which is not that far on Sean Murray's Twitter, literally you just have to scroll down a bit and you're back in 2016. That's the little amount of tweets he's made. Once the game launched, you've got tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet after tweet about problems, patches, things, weird, funny jokes. Today is the release date. He's posting art of the ship, posting PC patch notes, and then you get all the way up to the top, and it's it basically stops with, "We hope you enjoy the first proper update. We didn't want to talk about anything until it was 100% certain," and that's why they don't talk until everything is 100% certain. But we know that he can tweet because he did it way before the hate started, nonstop.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it from their point of view, I understand. I mean, they, like you said, they did get a lot of hate when the game launched, but I have not read a negative article anywhere about No Man's Sky lately. And if they're tweeting like images and sharing stuff from the community, how is that going to be spun negative? You know what I mean? It's only going to be good press.
And how many other companies get the luxury of, if they get any bad press, they get to just pull away from society? I mean, they're always trying to get new customers. Businesses are always trying to have good PR. They're always trying to win over people that are with their competition. But somehow in this situation, you bought a product from them, to hell with you. You'll do it when we want you to do it. And it is 100% what they want. Like one of you just said, from their point of view, or, it's better for them. Well, it's not always about what's better for you when you're in business. And sometimes it's better with, going with what the customer wants.
Yeah. The thing is, though, the game has changed so much since launch. Like, we've had so many updates. Maybe new players don't know what's in the game now. And they're looking at Hello Games to tweet this.
Dude, the thing is that like they're winning awards. All the stuff that people complained about, they've fixed for the most part. Like they don't have an excuse to be silent anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, didn't they win like the award for like best something? Like
the thing is, I'm not wanting pictures. I'm not wanting an update. What I'm concerned about is I love this development team. I love the company, and what they're doing is harmful to their company, because if they come out with another game, what's going to be brought out into the forefront, there's going to be two things when they announce another game. No matter how much they improve No Man's Sky, no matter how much, people are going to be like, oh, there's the team that lies, and oh, there's the team that doesn't communicate with this community.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Those are the two things. Don't buy their game. You know, those are the two things. If they want to fix their perception of how they look to people who don't play No Man's Sky, to the media who covers, you know, what's going on, then they need to just build a community and maintain it, even if it's just simple 5-minute videos once a month.
It could be too that one or more of them have so much power over the others then that even as a company of I don't know how many employees they have, let's say 90% of them would love to communicate, but there are one or two of them, maybe just Sean, that is saying absolutely not, no communication. I will be the one to break that barrier, and then he decides not to. So maybe it's not a company that we're upset with. It may just be one person.
So I was watching a video of like Innes McKendrick talking about how they got a lot of hate, that Sean Murray did a good job at shielding them from the hate online, like protecting like their social media accounts and stuff like that. And that was like 2016. Like they have such a loyal and strong community now that like they need to at least talk to the community directly. Like if they're afraid to get on social media, fine. But you're not registered with CSD if you're a hater of No Man's Sky. So why aren't they talking to us through CSD, through the forum, their official forum?
Hmm. Yeah, I have 1,200 hours into their game, and they can't take 5 minutes.
Right.
That's why I'm glad that, I mean, you know, applause to Just Jared for starting the Say Hello campaign. Like just let us know like you guys are working on something, or that like everything's cool. Like Cobra said, I don't need anything. Like I don't need a screenshot. I don't need to know exactly like what you're working on. I just want to know that you guys are out there doing something. Like
I don't even need to know that. I just want the communication, the working relationship between the creator and the customer.
They can post whatever the hell they want.
I'll take it
as long as they're talking.
I'll take it a step further on them. I'm against that campaign, sort of. I wouldn't send a video. I'm against prompting them, because they should do it on their own. They shouldn't even have to be asked, please give us a crumb, because then if they do, it's almost tainted. Like they're like, just shut up, here's what you asked for, and leave us alone, where they wouldn't have done it on their own. I want them to just have the sense to do it on their own. They're in business, for God's sakes.
I hope with this new update, after it comes out, that they will open those lines of communications more, because if it does relate with multiplayer, we're going to need like some type of guidance from them, whether it's like community, you know, projects or something where everyone should go to this planet and meet up, or, you know, I want things like that to happen. You can't really do that if the developers aren't speaking to the community.
We've had effectively 2 years of silence. Nothing is going to come out of them unless they're pushed. And I think that's why nobody has said anything, because that's why I made the video, because everybody wants communication, but nobody's telling them we want communication verbally or tweeting at them or anything. We're just sitting back and be like, let's just deal with it and wallow in our sadness. So I was like, I'm done just sitting here. If we can adapt, and we can, you know, because all the updates to the game that they've made have been because of us. What we want. We wanted base building. We wanted vehicles. We wanted multiplayer. Back before the game launched, No Man's Sky, Sean Murray was like, it's not a multiplayer game. Now there's multiplayer because we wanted it. If we can change the game, we should be able to change how they communicate and what they do, because that's why they're making the game, is because of us. If we weren't here, they wouldn't have anything. We wouldn't be updating the game if we weren't here.
Well, and at some point they're going to need money. at some point they're going to need to release another game. Like Hello Labs that they talked about is basically like their way of publishing or helping indie developers publish games. Well, how are you going to publish a game when you can't even publish a tweet or publish a blog post?
Oh.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's like you have to communicate with your community, because people that hate No Man's Sky, they're not going to go out and buy your next game. The people that love No Man's Sky are going to go out and buy your next game. And you need to continue to build that fan base and cater to that fan base. Because when you release something now, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not talking to us, we might just abandon you as a company, or we might just abandon the game. I mean, there's Amino Hub, there's Galactic Hub, AGT, there's Cobra, like, and his whole community. There's all these YouTube channels and content creators. Like, we're not out here like twiddling our thumbs like, oh, you know what I mean? It's like, we love this game. At least talk to us. Talk to the community that you know love it. We don't get anything. It's crap.
I want to kind of change the subject a little bit and turn everybody's attention to something on the screen. And it was just mentioned in the chat. And whoever did, please shout yourself out again, because I can't remember who it was. But it's a new game. Did you guys see the trailer that I posted about Planet Alpha?
I did. That looks really cool.
This, I think, is made by the same team. Team 17? Okay. That was Planet Alpha, right? Team 17? I think so.
I think.
Either way, check this out. I mean, this is like, it's kind of like No Man's Sky, but it's probably not an entire universe or an entire galaxy, but it is definitely a roguelike sandbox building game. So check this out. Just watch the screen.
Our mission is finding a planet suitable for the gene pool on board this ship. I will be there for you if you need information on how to handle this endeavor and lead us to great success. You can always deactivate my guidance in the menu interface, but as far as my experience with human intelligence goes, I highly recommend listening to me if this is your first Genesis mission. New captain promoted. Welcome to the shipbuilding interface.
Shipbuilding interface.
Upgrade our ship. In our cloning laboratories,
I wouldn't like that at all.
Can be created and added to the crew. We are also able to combine human DNA with DNA we collect in outer space. Once you arrive on the surface, please look out for points of interest and ensure
okay.
for our harmful crew.
Planetary landings. What do you guys think?
I wouldn't like it. I'm sorry.
What was that, Dave?
Yeah, I wouldn't like it because it looks like they got to run around with a gun all the time waiting for something to jump out at them. And I don't really care for that in games. I don't like the anxiety of it.
Oh, I see. Well, I don't know. It's definitely something interesting to keep an eye on.
And I like the atmosphere. This looks kind of dope.
Yeah. Team 17. Yeah, I believe they're the same ones that are making the...
PS4, thank the Lord.
Yeah. I don't know. Did they give a release date? I can't remember.
I think it's great that there's a lot more games like that now. And I think the more open world they are and without storyline to guide you, I think that's a trend that will be great. And credit No Man's Sky and other ones with paving that path. But I look forward to the future where somebody creates one that's just one planet. It's No Man's Sky in scale, but it's just one planet. So the detail would just be incredible. I look forward to that kind of stuff.
I think we're moving slowly closer to getting something like that. I feel like that should be an idea that somebody has already, definitely, and maybe is already working on that. Because,
well, check this out. Check this out. I know it's hard for me to sell this to people, but maybe I can change people's mind by the way it's hard to explain this. Beyond Good and Evil 2, right? It is a beautiful game. It's a procedurally generated star system, and it could be more than one star system because they have an engine called Star System Creator. Okay, so they can make more than one solar system. Now, what they've created is a planet that technically, not a planet, but a star system that is way too big for a story campaign. Way too big. All right. So they're going to handcraft all the assets, like the big, gigantic cities, man. I mean, cities that you can't even comprehend right now. Ganesh is going to be massive, massive. Biggest city I've ever seen in any game. And it's going to be all handcrafted, and you could land anywhere in it. You could go down to the slums, into the ghetto, the poor neighborhood. You could land your starship anywhere. You can go into the rich parts. The character customization is better than anything I've ever seen on any game, period. Now, what's cool about Beyond Good and Evil 2, and what's cool about it being too big for its own good, is that when we get the campaign, when they release it, these guys can continue to build upon this world, put more cities. So an idea what they could do is put like construction sites where they plan on making more cities or more points of interest. So that way, when we get the game on release day, we see these construction sites. So that way, when they come out with an update and there's now a city there, it's not, oh, this thing just appeared. We know that it was a construction zone. But over the years, they could keep adding to this game. They could keep adding cities, handcrafted cities. Many people can work on it. Many different stories that can be sold as DLC that take place with different characters on different worlds could be added to this game. This game will grow over time and become a living, handcrafted, very, very detailed star system over time.
I kind of wish they would give some information as to what they expect the minimum size of one city to be, because there is like a measurement in game, like how big cities or places are. Like in Skyrim, if you look up how big it is, there's like an in-game measurement that game developers use. I wish they would give like what they expect one of their cities minimum to be. That way we can kind of look at, how many, all these different cities that'll relatively be around the same size if they're making, a lot of them. And then we could really see like the scale. Because
did you see the picture?
Yeah, I seen the picture. Yeah.
Let me go ahead and put it on the screen for everybody else here. Now imagine your character in that.
Right.
And that is massive. I cannot even comprehend what it would be like to play in that city. I just can't. I just can't. I've never been in a game city that is that big with that many levels of the city. There's a top level, there's a middle level, there's a bottom, there's an underneath level, there's an upper level.
Yeah, that's freaking huge.
Definitely looks cool.
So one of the things you could do to earn money is you could play a human, or you can create a hybrid, a monkey mixed with a tiger, or a monkey mixed with a human, or...
And what kind of job could they get?
Okay, well... Who
would hire a monkey tiger?
No. See, what they are, hybrids are slaves, right? They're slaves. The humans use them for anything that you would use a slave for. But some of the hybrids end up escaping and they're free, and most of them become pirates. So when you start off in this game, you're going to be making your own journey, your own path, your own story, but there's a story that you can follow. So not only is this world going to be open for you to make your own story in, but it's going to have a narrative, a very strong story to it. So that way, when you're cruising around and you're making your own story, you know why things are the way they are. Okay, you know why you're a hybrid. You know why you're being hunted.
So, Cobra, you said we could play. We could play as humans and hybrids.
Yes.
So you think like if you start the game off as a human, the storyline would change because they're, you know what I mean? Like if you're a mutant, maybe everyone's like more docile. They're more aggressive toward you. But if you're a human, then you know how that would change.
Yeah, I don't know how that actually play out.
Okay.
But you could do jobs. So there's side missions are probably going to be tons of side missions. Like they explain, one of the jobs that you could do is when you first start out to earn money, you could deliver pizzas in the city, this big ass city.
Very nice.
Right? You could deliver pizzas. So he gave an example. Michelle Ansel gave an example to where you might deliver a pizza to a mothership that is hovering over top of Ganesh, and they order a pizza, and they're going to eat, and they're probably going to leave, after they get done eating or whatever. So when you go there and deliver the pizza, you can go inside this mothership. There's no loading screens, no transitions. The door opens up. You go inside. You land your craft. You get out. You find out who had the pizza. You deliver it. And now you're free to explore that mothership. Now, while you're inside the mothership, you could go around to the NPCs, all the different hybrids, and maybe this is a pirate, and maybe they're all pirates on the ship. And you could go to them and say, and start, talk to them. And he said, you'll find out that there's probably a side mission in there waiting for you. So the game can completely just throw you for a loop and constantly change for you. And there's always something to do. It's not an empty place.
I feel like you're never going to be bored playing. You're always going to have something. But Cobra, I'm going to have to jump off. I got to head to work.
Oh, okay.
But it was a pleasure talking to everybody. Everyone have a good day, and I will catch you Sunday again.
All right, buddy. Take care, man. Be safe.
Yeah, man. Have a good one, everybody.
Are you too? So what you're doing in the game is you're also building yourself up. You're getting money, and you're buying yourself a starship, and then eventually you're going to want to buy yourself a mothership, and all of these ships are fully 100% customizable from the get-go, right? So then you're staffing your ship with a crew, and that crew, and essentially what you're going to probably end up turning into is a space pirate. And there's space stations out in space where all the pirates go. It's almost like Mos Eisley in space. And it's just, I don't think people realize how big of a splash this game is going to make. I really don't. Not enough people are talking about it.
You can go ahead.
I've never heard of it. That's all I had to say.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not a lot of people are talking about it. I remember when I seen the trailer, I had no idea that there was a first one. I had never heard of the game, period. And the trailer came out, and what I was going to say when you mentioned the delivering pizza thing, and also from the cinematic trailer, it looks like a game that kind of has, it's like a fun style, where like it's not serious, it's not, it kind of like, it has fun with its own lore, it has fun with its own environment, kind of like Borderlands does, where it never takes itself seriously. It's all just, you play the game, you have a good time, you have fun, you do things.
That's how the first one was.
Right, but there will be a level of seriousness because of the topics that they're going to be covering in this game. Slavery, for one. And we're talking serious slavery. We're talking slavery with sex trade. We're talking slavery of selling children hybrids to families to use them as pets. Okay? Selling children hybrids to raise them to be servants.
It's a little dark.
That's heavy, man. That's heavy.
It is dark shit there.
Okay.
Dude, the first Beyond Good and Evil, like I played it back on PlayStation 2, that was a narrative masterpiece. So I have full faith that this is going to be great. Like,
and plus the original dude that Michael Ansel, I think his name was, whatever you want to call it, the one that was on stage when he was kind of shedding a tear after they revealed the trailer. God bless that poor guy's soul. He's the one that actually wrote the story for the original game back on the 6th generation of consoles, man. And that game. Man, that was the biggest highlight for E3 for me, was the reveal for Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Beyond Good and Evil, the original one, was really underrated. Like it was
Oh, yeah.
underrated and under-recognized.
I remember, what is it? I think it was 2 years ago. They came out with like beta footage of what Ubisoft had for an idea of what they wanted to do for a sequel to Beyond Good and Evil 2. And the funny thing was that, like, not only myself, but there actually is a small group of people that have been dying for a sequel to this game for years now, years and years.
I mean, it's been 15 years.
Yeah, it's been a long time, right? Yeah, so a lot of people have been asking for it. So when they came out on stage and they made that like their closure for the Ubisoft press conference last year, I flipped, like I freaked out. I was so happy because I was like, we're finally getting a sequel. Although I think they did say that it actually is technically a prequel to the first game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's a prequel.
And so I was like, you know what, man? Thank you. Thank you.
Dave, I have the demo of the game being played on the screen if you want to see what it looks like.
Oh, I'm only on Skype, so I'll have to see that later on YouTube.
Okay.
Is that the clip there, Cobra, where he's kind of like hover over a bunch of stuff like that?
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
that was the clip that I saw during like that little after show of the Ubisoft's conference. That blew me away, dude.
I know. Yeah,
I can't wait.
You know what's really cool is all of that was fresh. Like Ganesh in the background, that's not really Ganesh. That's all placeholder. So this was something that they worked on and they got done really quick, really fast.
Now the thing is, what I want to know is like, is this going to be a current gen game or is this going to be coming out for like a launch or a launch window for the next gen?
My prediction is it's going to be both. If it comes out in time, if it comes out in time, it'll be on PS4 and PS5 or Xbox One and Xbox 2, whatever they're going to call it.
you know, it's, whatever, exactly. I'm trying to figure out the name of that. Yo, the thing was like when that trailer first kicked off and the moment I saw that pig like just sitting there just munching on food, I immediately knew that it was Beyond Good and Evil 2. I immediately knew because I mean, a pig and Ubisoft, those two blend so well together. It was like, that's Beyond Good and Evil 2. Then I saw the title for it and I was just like, oh my God.
So what you would say to a pig, Ubisoft?
Probably.
I think I'm going to eat you.
I'm slow.
That sounds rather disturbing. But point is, though, man, I mean, like, this is a game that, I've been waiting for a very long time, and I cannot wait for that game to drop. Like, that game is going to be, oh, man. Thank you, Ubisoft. Now, if only if you can bring me back Prince of Persia, then I'll be okay. But we all know that's not going to happen.
You know what I want to see a sequel to that was sort of an underrated game is Jet Force Gemini.
Yo, let's go.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite games on Nintendo 64. I would love to see that recreated.
The creator
my language there, Jess, man.
The creator of Prince and Persia is trying to bring the series back.
I wanted to come back because when I played Assassin's Creed Origins, I like the whole entire time when I was going through that, I only played like about a quarter of it. I was this should be Prince of Persia. You're in Egypt. It makes sense. So I call it Prince of Persia Origins, not Assassin's Creed Origins.
Someday I would like to see a procedurally generated racing game where you kind of combine a Project Cars 2 with an open world game where you could decide to leave the track, go out on the highways, and race one of your friends all the way to California or something, and you get pulled over, and you get flat tires, and your engine fails, and stuff like that. But a procedurally generated racing game you can do from your seat behind your steering wheel and shifter and all that instead of a controller.
That would actually be, I would be totally down with something like that because I don't drive in real life. I don't drive in real life. I don't even ride a bike because I'm too scared to ride an actual bike. But the thing of it is, like something like that, that would actually be pretty badass.
Yeah.
I saw an interview or a review of the top 3 racing games recently, a video on YouTube, and it had one of the Forzas. It had the Sport, Gran Turismo Sport, and Project Cars 2. And one of the guys reviewing was an expert on video games. The other was a video game developer, I think. And the third guy was an actual race car driver. Well, when it came to ranking them 1 through 3, both of the non-driving guys picked either Forza or the other one as their top one. And in both cases, they had Project Cars 2 as last place. The real driver had Project Cars 2 as first and the other two second and third. And I really love that because I play Project Cars 2, but what the other two didn't like about it is the realism. They thought it was a little bit too challenging and a little bit too real. I kind of thought that was the point. You know, to make a simulator.
Yeah, I can agree with that too as well, because I played the first Project Cars, and I know a lot of people didn't like it. And I mean, I don't mind real driving simulation games like Gran Turismo and whatnot, but I feel that a lot of these racing games nowadays are starting to go more towards, while keeping simulation in mind and still adding a lot of those elements of tweaking your car and your engines and your brake pads and everything too as well, but they don't feel the same anymore. Like Project Cars kind of like wants to kind of keep in that lane of being more of like that ultra realistic factor behind driving a car. And let me tell you, it works. It works. That game was not easy when I played the first one at all. But I like it, though, because it really gives you that real-life simulation. Like, if this was your car in real life and this is how you're going to drive it, yeah, good luck with that.
Well, the second one is even better, and my gauge of that, and better meaning more realistic, my gauge of that is I only run Nürburgring in Germany, and I usually run it in the same car. Yeah. So when I was playing Project Cars 1, I was running around 70 to 80% skill level and still had a possibility of winning the race. I didn't win often, but it was winnable if I didn't make mistakes. But when I moved to Project Cars 2, that dropped down to about 50%. I'm down around 50% skill level to even have a chance of winning the game.
Damn.
Winning the race, I mean. It is incredibly realistic.
Have you? I can't remember the name of the game, but there was a game that came out. It was either PlayStation 3, I want to say, but it was basically you lived in Hawaii, and it was an open world racing game where you can drive around the entire Hawaii, all the highways, the roads, everything. I can't remember the name of it. Do you remember that game?
Midnight Club, maybe.
It wasn't Midnight Club. I'll remember it in a second, but that was a really good game, and I want to see something like that come out, because basically it was like Midnight Club, but the more realistic. Midnight Club was kind of cartoony. Like these were actual cars, and like you could purchase them and change the colors and all that kind of stuff, but it wasn't like street racing.
Oh, Test Drive Unlimited. Somebody said that in the chat.
That's it. Test Drive Unlimited. That was a really cool
franchise
game.
that I would love to see come back. Test Drive was one of my favorite franchises back in the day.
I'm pretty sure they just released a Test Drive and did terrible.
Well, no, yeah. There was one that came out a while back, but I think it was on mobile. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and it didn't really do too well. But
Test Drive Unlimited 3.
That might be the one. Maybe I'm not sure. I know the Test Drive series is like long gone now, because the series just kind of fell off the radar. But look, there's been so many good racing games. Like whatever happened to Project Gotham Racing, like that game when that was around a long time ago, even like early last gen too as well. I love PGR. PGR was one of my favorite racing games of all time, next to Gran Turismo 2. You know what I mean? But now, like Forza is good. Don't get me wrong. I don't play the motorsports games, but I did recently pick up Horizon 3, and that game holy crap, that game is so much fun. But it kind of gets repetitive after a while because you're kind of doing the same types of races.
I like that you guys brought up racing games, Cobra, because the game I wanted to talk about, if I had the chance, was a racing game today.
Really?
On the show. It's not like a racing simulator. As far as racing game goes, I've never been a fan. Like I don't hate racing games. I wish they'd make more, both realistic. Yeah, right.
Burnout 3 is one of my favorite games.
They just remastered. Burnout 3 is fantastic. They just remastered Burnout Paradise.
Yeah, that's a crap game.
Yeah, I don't want to play it.
That's a crap game. He says.
I heard it wasn't good. So
no, I want 3 takedown. I want 3 takedown so bad. That's the one that I want.
Yes,
that was good. But I'm not much into like the simulators, the serious ones. I wish they'd make more of all racing games. I feel like nobody's super like making racing games. I think it's just like specific, small people. I mean, right now people are into like shooters and all that, and so racing has kind of fallen off. Especially like games like Twisted Metal, like kind of games like that have also completely disappeared. I mean, the studio behind Twisted Metal is completely shut down now. But I like more of the Carnage style racing.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of that, so that's why I love Twisted Metal. I love a game. One of my favorite games on 360 was called Split Second.
Yep.
I loved fantastic game. But there's a game releasing for PS4 and Xbox One on June 5th called Onrush. That I recommend you looking up. I have the link to it. I have a link to the trailer, but I can't post it in your chat, unfortunately.
I've got it.
Yeah, I saw it on the pre-order list, and I was taking a look at some pictures.
Onrush, if you search Onrush,
spell that.
Onrush.
Okay, that's what I thought you were saying.
Yeah. The Stampede trailer is the best one. But all the trailers, there's 2 of them, is all gameplay. They just kind of move the cameras around the cars to make the trailer. Because I watched a video of them doing the Stampede is coming, and they were showing how they created the trailer and what was happening. But it looks fantastic, and it's a team-based racer.
Oh.
So
you mean
it's
like multiplayer kind of thing?
Yeah, it's 6v6. So 6 people on a team racing against 6 people on our team with 12 AI thrown in the mix.
This is amazing.
And it's not about getting to the end. It's about scoring points by wrecking other people.
Yes. That's one of the reasons why I like Burnout 3.
I'm buying it.
Burnout 3 to me kind of felt like the Tekken of racing games. Me and my wife used to play that when we first got together, and we would race neck to neck, and we'd be taking each other down like crazy. And then
the Tekken of racing games.
That didn't sound right.
No. That didn't. That's a weird analogy, but that kind of works in a weird, messed up way. But it works because you're right. That's exactly what Takedown 3 was for me. And like when you get that satisfaction of just turning the corner but slamming into another car and you see them go flying off the railing. Yeah, that's exactly what it felt like. Yeah.
But at the same time, Sean Murray work on Burnout?
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Burnout 3.
What if Hello Games is working on another racing game, but it's like the concept that Dave talked about, where it's like an open world procedural racing game?
No, don't say that. Please don't say that because you're about to get me going.
But the Onrush looks really good. The recent article that I read, they basically have 8 vehicle classes. Let's see, Blade, Outlaw, Vortex, Charger, Interceptor, Dynamo, Titan, and Enforcer, whatever those mean. But each class has its own style, handling, and each class has abilities. So the developer was talking about one of his favorites is Vortex because the ability is it leaves like a vortex behind your car and it'll sweep up other cars. So there's like
Mario Kart.
It's like a lot of cool things like that, except you're not
Mario Kart for adults.
Yeah, it's like you're not picking
this
up
is
power
amazing.
It's just kind of team based. And they say like if one of your teammates gets wrecked, you can't make points. You can't get points until they're back. So it's like you gotta cooperate and kind of strategize. It's not about just smashing into everybody and hoping for the best. So I think and they also are trying to get it in VR. So I don't know how that's going to work. But,
nice.
I like the futuristic racing games like Wipeout.
Wait, they said they were going to do VR, but it ended up making people feel sick. So they're not doing VR anymore.
Okay. So this is going to sound like a weird question, but does it have split screen? Can you go neck to neck?
There's split screen. I'm pretty sure there's split screen, there's co-op, and there is a campaign with they said 100 or so missions and different events that you can do co-op with somebody else.
So you could definitely do couch co-op.
Yeah, let me see if I can find that exact.
I mean couch. Like I want to kick the crap out of my wife.
Oh, you want to race somebody? Yeah. Let me see. I gotta find that.
I want to kick the crack.
No, nobody call the cops. I'm talking about a video game.
I'm trying to find the article I found yesterday. It's talked about the split screen. I'll look for that and see what I can find here.
Since I don't ever play games with anybody else, I don't ever consider split screen. But hearing you guys talk about it, it makes me realize that back in the day when I did, TVs were so much smaller and split screen sucked. But nowadays, with 50-inch TVs, I think split screen would work pretty damn well.
Oh, yeah.
Man, it's not like the old days when you used to sit there and play 4-player split screen in like games like GoldenEye or Perfect Dark.
Yeah, you had to sit right in front of the damn TV.
Yep. But there was something special about that, though, back in the day, that like when we were kids, we didn't care because we thought it was like the coolest thing ever to have our friends come over. You know what I mean? But now it's like, as we get older, it's just like, no. This is not me no more. I'm out of that age. Me personally, I can still do that, but to a lot of people out there that don't care about split screen anymore, yeah, I totally understand that, because it is kind of annoying when you have to sit there and like you get confused sometimes. Sometimes, like if you go to the bathroom, you come back, you're looking at the wrong screen.
It's kind of like reading subtitles. I can't do it at first, but by the middle of the movie,
yeah,
I forget that I'm reading subtitles, and it's like second nature. But like, split screens, yeah, you're right. I don't like it at first, but then I get used to it after a little while playing, and when you get that satisfaction of just beating the crap out of whoever it is next to you, and you can get up and just taunt them. And they're hitting you because you're winning, that makes it all worth it.
All right,
it's all about the gloating.
Unfortunately.
Oh, no, don't say it.
They said they would love to include split screen, and there will be split screen couch co-op. So you'd be on the same team, but it says with their ambitious timeline and trying to release it at June 5th, it's not something they're going to be able to do. Put in split screen against, like, play against somebody that you're sitting next to. Apparently, it's only co-op.
Why so not at launch? I don't know. But do they have plans to do it after launch?
It doesn't say, but if the game does well, I'm sure that maybe they could work it in if people want it, because they have a lot of interaction with the community. It seems they've got a whole blog page here with questions that they're answering and things like that. So Who knows?
Hey, I wanted to bring up something a little different. That Cobra, you accidentally kind of reminded me of this. I was thinking about the No Man's Sky update, watching one of your videos, and talking about what we want from it. Well, something you said about Elite Dangerous or one of the other games reminded me of this idea, and I love this. I hope they do something like this, where your freighter is moving toward a position. Like if you point it toward the center and you tell it to go that way, then it is moving all the time. So if you're in it, and you're growing your product and you're selling, you're making these circuit boards and stuff like that, your ship is moving. So you get out and you warp to another system. You come back to your freighter. It's not in the place that it was before. It's moving to the center. So it's constantly in motion, and you can race around it and back to it, but it's always moving. I think that would be a neat feature instead of just...
That would be a great feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. That would be amazing.
Man, I'm just so happy that launch trailer that got released today for Sea of Thieves, they finally showed the damn Kraken now, finally, man.
How's that? Is that easy on PCs?
What, requirement-wise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the Kraken?
Okay.
The Kraken is that like a giant octopus. You remember like in like Moby Dick and whatnot?
Okay.
Yeah, they
released the Kraken.
Exactly. Yeah. I posted the trailer. I posted the trailer in the Skype chat there for you, Cobra, man. Like, 'cause they actually show it at the end of that trailer. It's only like a 1.5 minute long trailer, and just this sheer scale of what this thing is going to be when you happen to come across this thing while just exploring the ocean, dude. Oh, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
So there's a game where you are the Kraken or you're hunting the Kraken.
No, the Kraken is like a random boss that will randomly appear out of nowhere. You could just be sailing on your own, doing nothing, and the next thing you know, you'll see like this giant octopus tentacle come out of nowhere and just grab your boat.
Man, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, but it's always fun though, because it keeps you, puts you off guard, but at the same time, you have to make sure you constantly prepare yourself. I kind of dig it though, man. It looks amazing.
I don't think I'd like it. I didn't even like when I played GTA 5. I didn't even like being out in the wilderness because of all the mountain lions. I just don't like being hunted. I don't like things screwing with me.
Oh, I mean, but that's the thing though. Like, I'm not exactly I'm not sure how it works. Like, I don't know, like, if something that you do triggers it, or you could just be out in the middle of nowhere not doing anything, and like you just anchor your boat, and the thing might just show up. I don't know. It's completely random.
You have to go out there and whistle.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Pretty much.
It's so weird because I still don't know anything about Sea of Thieves at all. I know nothing.
Believe me, you're not the only person that does. A lot of people don't really know what Sea of Thieves. Like even Xbox people don't even know what the heck Sea of Thieves is.
LpoLi has some pretty good videos on it. If you guys want to, I'd recommend checking that out.
Yeah, I could check it out.
What are you saying? CFTs?
No, Sea of Thieves.
What is that?
It's a pirate themed related game.
Yeah. And is it PvP? Is that what it is? Is it player per player?
It's PvP, but it's like a light PvP. Like you and like either by yourself or a crew of like another person or a crew of 4 people, including yourself, venture out depending on what boat you pick. If you pick the Gallo, you can have up to 3 to 4 people on your boat. If you pick the Slope, it's just you by yourself or just you and another friend, like 2-player co-op kind of deal. And you go out and you explore like this vast world, right? But like at the same time, like there's 3 different factions that you can choose from, right? You have I think they're called the Order of Souls or something, or Keeper of Souls, I believe is what they're called. They are designed to give you quests that are bounty quests and things of that nature. And you go and you do your thing, and and then you basically kill the person that you want for the bounty hunter, whatever the case may be. You get like this green glowing-ish skull. You bring it back, trade in, boom, you get rep, and you keep on going from there. And they're all different. They're all different ones. You have to go. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say there's a lot of articles out there saying that basically it's gonna be like this year's like No Man's Sky.
I keep hearing that, but I don't see it though. That's the thing, because see the thing is like when they compare, but what they don't realize is that Sea of Thieves, like nothing is procedurally generated in that game. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing that I don't get. Like the only thing that makes sense to me is I'm going based on like maybe the fact that a lot of people just don't know what the heck you're doing in that game. You
or maybe it's just like the level of exploration or something. To me, it looks like if like No Man's Sky had a love child with Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Yeah,
and then like that's
I like that analogy. Yeah, I like that analogy. That sums it up well. But yeah, like so you have that NPC, then you have another NPC, the Gold Hoarders, which basically they give you like either a map that you can look at, or they give you a riddle, and you go and you solve that, then you dig up the treasure, bring it back. And every time you rank up, like when you get to rank 5, new sets and higher difficulty quests come into play. You reach rank 10 for that faction. The harder the actual things get. And eventually, once you get to a certain rank to yourself as a pirate, you get access to this pirate hideout, right? That's exclusive to you. And in there is where you get like legendary voyages is what they call it, is what the quests are called. They're called voyages. But at the same time, you also get access to your very own specific boat that is designed that you can customize yourself. And you can customize your boat the way that it is, but you got more customization, like if you actually reach legendary status and whatnot. It's a very, very interesting game, but the exploration, though, is what really pulls in a lot of people. And you know what I mean? And like just going around to a random island, you can sit there and come across a message in a bottle sitting on the sand. You pick it up, you finish that quest, and you get like a crap ton of gold for it. It's gonna be phenomenal, man.
What is so? It's not just a multiplayer FPS game. So it's actually like an exploration game that you can do solo?
You can do it by yourself, but keep in mind, though, that it's not like you're still going to be in an online world. So you might run into other players. Now, if those players decide to attack you, then, hey, you know what I mean? Or you can actually talk with them. Everything's on voice chat, right? So you can try to persuade them into helping you and then screw them over later if you want to. Or you can do things cooperatively if the people on that boat are willing to actually cooperate with you and do certain things, as long as they trust you and you trust them.
I see.
Kind of thing, you know what I mean? It's I've seen a lot of people when they stream it. Whenever I wasn't playing it by myself, I would watch people stream it on Mixer, and a lot of people the way they would play is kind of fascinating in its own right. Kind of fascinating in their own right. It's weird. It's really, really weird. It's going to be one of those.
I'd like to give a big shout out to Lepirim for the donation a while back. I apologize, I didn't see that. I was in a different screen, so thank you very much. Thank you. I'm sorry. Go ahead, dude.
Oh, no, I'm just saying it's like one of those games that, like, if you really want to get a better understanding of Sea of Thieves, just try the game out for yourself, honestly. It's hard to explain.
Is it like is it a continuous game? Like you just start it up and you go, and every time you turn it on, do you continue where you left off? Or is it like you load up? Okay, so it's not like loading up for a match or something like that. Like
no. Yeah, it's just basically like you pick whatever ship you want, you invite your friends if you want to, and you just sail away. And then whatever you were doing last is still there. All your voyages that you have not completed are still there, so on and so forth. Yeah.
So what's gold and stuff like that used for? Is there like progression?
That's okay. The progression in Sea of Thieves is all based on how you distinctly make your pirate look. That's what they're going for this game, which I know a lot of people are not really a big fan of.
Right.
It's just all cosmetic stuff, right?
Puffy shirts.
Yeah, right.
Like Fortnite.
Yeah, sort of exactly like Fortnite and Overwatch. You know what I mean? Like you make your pirate look the way that you want to make him stand out amongst everybody else.
But I don't want to be a pirate.
Go ahead.
I just said, but I don't want to be a pirate.
Interesting.
We're probably going to go ahead and shut it down. We're like an hour and a half now into it. Is there anything before we do shut it down you guys didn't bring up that you might want to go ahead and bring up now?
I finally bought a freighter.
Oh yeah,
nice.
I haven't even done that.
That took you a while, Dave.
I've had one for a long time, but I've been afraid to buy the second one. And I've talked on here a couple times to people about, how to do that, and it was kind of scary when I came down and my ships were gone. But they were right. You fly away from the ship and you simply call it again, and there it is. So I bought a $400 million 32 slot freighter that's really big and nice. Very cool.
Oh wow, very, very nice. I forgot to tell you, Cobra, that I finally got all the actual glyphs finally, but I kind of did it in a way that I'm kind of shameful of, but at the same time, I was testing it out and I saw that it worked, and it worked extremely well, and I can't believe people figure this out. But it saved me a lot of time. It saved me a lot of freaking playtime.
I've never had a glyph.
The glyphs for the portals?
No.
Yeah, they're a pain in the butt to find, but there's actually very, very I guess some people would call it a cheat, but it's not really a cheat. Well, it kind of is, but it isn't. But it's just more like the way the game is designed that you can use to your advantage as an exploit to be able to get your glyphs, and it works extremely well. But I managed to get, but I only had like 4 left. I had to get anyway, so I was just like, you know what, let me knock these out real quick.
There's the guys over at TOG. They have a hub, and they're also found on the Miano. They found a planet to where they found 14 glyph locations, and they marked them all with comm stations.
Yep.
So all you need is the first glyph, which all you have to do is, as soon as you see a traveler, walk up to him, ask him where he came from, and he'll give you a location. When you go to that location, you've got a glyph, a grave, a traveler's grave. You walk up to it, you push squared, you get the glyph, and there's your first one. The second one, there's an exploit, but I'm not going to talk about the exploit, but you can then go to a trading post. If you don't see a traveler, fly out into space, come back to the trading post, and he should be there. If not, try it again. And if it doesn't work, then find a different trading post and then ask him. It's what I did. It worked. And ask him where he came from, and he'll give you a location, which is a traveler's grave, and you'll get the second glyph. So now you got the first 2 glyphs. Now you can go to the TOG. You can go to the portal and go to the TOG address, and then follow the comm balls and pick up the rest of your glyphs in about 60 minutes. And then you got all your glyphs.
And the only thing these glyphs are used for is just to
portals.
Go to different locations that people tell you about, so you can go see, like that McDonald's and different bases that people have built and visit friends and stuff, right?
Yeah,
that's it. That's it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what it was there, Cobra, off air for obvious reasons. But yeah, mine was different than that. It was different than that. It was a lot more simpler.
I know what
it is.
Like different hubs have like certain like immigration planets. So there'll be like a portal address to that planet. You go to that planet, you claim a base, go back through the portal, then you go through the space station, you terminus back there, then your ship comes with you, and now you're permanently moved into that region of space. So some people use the portals as sort of like an easy immigration method.
I'm still trying to find a way to get back. I'm still trying to find a way to get back, and I tried the method that you broke down in your video. Doesn't work for me.
Really?
Yeah, it does not work anymore.
I wonder if they fixed that.
I think they did with the last, what was it there, the 1.39 or 3.8 update, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I noticed, like, when I got shot back from the galaxy that you're in back to my original galaxy, I was just like, uh-oh. And I tried to get back, and it just doesn't work.
Oh, you're trying to go between galaxies?
Yeah, I want to be back. I don't want to start over because I have virtually everything that I've been looking for hours upon hours. I got all my warp drives, I got everything, and I don't want to have to start all over again. But
yeah, I'll never leave Euclid for that reason.
No, I'm out of Euclid.
You can leave Euclid and then.
And then what? He broke off.
Come on, buddy. What was it?
Oh no, you were so close for your information.
Does anybody? I was going to say, you leave Euclid and come back, or what?
That's what I'm trying to do. But
like if you like, for example, there was a guy that was in Eisenheim, and I gave him the portal address to Unification Day, and he came through to the Unification Day planet. If he wanted to, which is in Euclid, if he wanted to stay in Euclid, he could have just claimed a base on that planet, and then now he's back in Euclid. So
that's what I tried to do. Yeah,
but he loses all of his stuff when he moved to the new galaxy.
Either all the portals don't go between galaxies.
Yeah, not anymore. They don't.
Yeah.
How did you get back over there? Then?
They must have, because I found one that was in the Euclid galaxy. So I was like, all right, let me see if I can actually go there on my main save file, and I put everything in, and no, it just put me in a random came out the portal, but in the same galaxy.
Yeah, it throws you in like a random one. Yeah, because that's kind of the thing that was funny, because when they introduced the storyline, they also introduced the multiplayer for the first time, and everybody was asking for multiplayer. But if you finish the storyline, you know, you possibly could end up in a different galaxy. And if you're in a different galaxy, you can't meet up with your friends because you can't portal to other galaxies. So they're like, here's story, here's multiplayer. Oh, if you finish the story, no multiplayer for you. It's hilarious.
Well, I'm
in a whole different galaxy now. I don't know where.
I have a video on my channel that basically I'm asking the subscribers like what they think is behind the door, the back middle door on the space anomalies. Yeah. And a lot of people are commenting that like they think that maybe it's a way to travel between the galaxies.
That could be, man. Or those giant Sentinel relay things that you find on those exotic planets.
Yeah.
It's more carbon.
Me and Grammy have talked about that. I think that's what that's for.
Yeah, I think that those giant circular weird shaped things that you see on the exotic planets that are designed for the Sentinels, like it just seems big enough that you could fly your ship right in there.
I'd get stuck. Well, I mean, not all the ships, definitely, because I got that one that's got like the tall fin on the top and then one on the bottom.
Yeah, I got one of those recently.
The exotic ones.
Yeah, I got one of those recently.
It barely fits through freaking the space station. It fits through the top of it.
All right, guys. Is there anything else you want to bring up before we go ahead and turn this off and get to our busy days?
I'm good. I've said everything.
Hashtag say hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Hashtag say hello.
Hashtag say hello.
I just have to wait and see what happens.
I know everybody's upset. I know. But I think it's. I think it's the wrong kind of upset. I mean, we're.
Call it hashtag get off your ass.
It's great. I love it.
There's no question that they're really hard at work. Really.
Is there?
No.
Maybe they're just slackers. Maybe they're just sipping tea, you know?
Nah.
We don't know.
No way. No, they're not doing that. They're hard at work. Now, a couple developers are actually tweeting some things. Like Jacob from Hello Games, he tweeted out, "Making shit is hard."
Oh,
or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe he
there's also there's an artist from Hello Games that if you go to his website, he has a lot of really cool artwork that has made it into the game, and he's got some ideas on there of like maybe what we look like in No Man's Sky. So that'd be cool to check out as well. I can't remember his name, but
that's Bolam. Bolam has a lot of art on his art station, and we watched a lot of those. We were watching him do a lot of those live. Okay. Yep. So most of that on there has nothing to do with No Man's Sky.
Well, the ones that are No Man's Sky related actually say like No Man's Sky on them, and it has that figure in there. I mean, it's probably nothing, but it's just interesting, and the artwork's good. So in any case, it's just good art to look at.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a lot of concept art in there of the ships, of the multi-tools, and if you dig deeper, it's got like some concept that never made it into the game, period. Like some lights. It looks like an entity or... Oh, wait a minute. That did end up it did make it into the game. Oh, okay. That one... yeah. That one.
Hey, Cobra, did you ever find those bipeds you were looking for, the little gek-like creatures? Did you ever run into them?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I did.
I remember you saying a year or so ago that that's what you wanted was to find them, but
I love the Gek.
And they killed me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was about to say I found some and they attacked me. So
Yeah, they're
almost
mean
all the time.
Really mean.
They're fast too.
Yeah, they
Sprint
are.
like no tomorrow. Where did you see that Jacob tweet?
Oh, Cross to Fire tweeted it at me. I don't even know how.
I'm at his Twitter and I don't see it. So I wonder if it's been removed.
One more thing there, Cobra. I just wanted to bring this up real quick. I just noticed this when I was playing No Man's Sky the other day when I finally got my freaking first exotic ship finally. I was on a planet and there was a family of these creature-looking things, right? There was like a little baby one and there was like two male, like female ones, right? I'm not sure what gender they were, but they look like a little family, right? But at the time I didn't know what they were. So I shot at one of my little not rocket things, but little grenade things, whatever you want to call it, to blow a hole in the ground in order to keep my ass alive. But I accidentally killed the little baby creature thing. Next thing you know, I had both the actual two big ones just come after me and just started just murking me. Like out of nowhere. And I was like, oh, I just killed a little baby. Oh my God, I feel so bad. So then I killed him and I was like, all right, never mind. Problem solved.
Wow.
I felt bad, people. I felt bad. I'm sorry. I felt bad.
I just want to leave you guys with the theory. I don't know if you guys noticed that after Atlas Rises, all the trees became smaller. And
yeah, I noticed
if you look at your exocraft cockpit, when you're in first person, you seem a lot larger than the cockpit. And then essentially after Atlas Rises, they kind of shrunk a lot of the things in the environment in the world. I think that, again, this is just tinfoil. If you guys know Panda, you know that I wear tinfoil tracksuit. But I think that they're shrinking the environment and they're adjusting the perspective and the height values of things because when we get our player model, I think that we're much smaller than we seem like we are. And it's just something to think about the next time you're playing. Just look at like your cockpit of your ship, look at the cockpit of your exocraft, like look at trees, park your ship or exocraft next to a tree, and then remember that you have to somehow fit inside that vehicle. So it gives you a pretty good idea of like how big you might actually be. And things
that's a good
in
point.
The world are larger than you might think that they are because you don't have any hands or legs. You don't really have a perspective of size. It's just something to think about.
Point. Yeah. Yeah, I remember my son was looking at the screen when I was playing one day, and he was like, "Are you crawling?" Because it looked like my character was too close to the ground.
Well, my buddy Hidden Jew Agenda, he thought that at the beginning when you first started playing No Man's Sky back in the day, he thought that maybe we were a Gek because of how short you seem to be.
Yeah.
But I think your FOV's off, and so they've been adjusting that. With the Atlas Rises update, and I think that when we get our player models, the way things look will make a lot more sense.
That makes sense. It really does.
I'm currently checking all of the employees at Hello Games Twitter accounts now, just in case they tweeted something.
Dude, I do that too.
I do that on the daily.
And I look at their job boards on their website. Like you can actually like make a lot of good guesses based on like what they're hiring for about what they might be working on.
Right.
Like all the artists that they hired and like stuff like that. So
right. Yep, I do that not every day. I do it like every other day or whatever, twice or three times a week. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for today. We ran over, but that's not a bad thing. I had fun and learned a lot about some cool games. Onrush and what was that other one we looked at?
Beyond Good and Evil 2, Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. Then there was another one. I can't remember what the title was. I'll have to go back and look at the video.
Go
Planet
Butler
was the space
Bulldogs.
one. Huh?
I said
Planet
go
Alpha.
Butler Bulldogs.
All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for calling into the show. I want to thank so much Fatal, his for coming on the show. His Twitch link is below. Go follow him over on Twitch. And while you're there, may as well follow me on Twitch as well if you're not already. And then we've got Just Jared. His link is down below as well. And we had Adam from Keep Coming Game on. His link is down below as well. Dave, I can't remember. Are you uploading?
No social media whatsoever. No Twitter, no Facebook, no nothing.
Wow.
Dave's off the grid.
I don't mess around with that. You talk to me, it's like this, digitally or face to face. You guys are the only ones I talk to in this manner.
Wow.
Nice.
I feel honored then. I really do.
Really,
thank you, man. I appreciate that.
All right.
All
I'll
right.
see you guys. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, buddy. You too. Thank you, everybody, for coming out to the chat and joining us here on this morning. I hope you had a good morning, and I hope you have a good rest of the day. And thank you, everybody, for watching us over on Twitch and later watching the video after it uploads to YouTube. And also listening to us on Stitcher if you don't want to use all the data to watch one of these videos because they're quite long and you just want to put some headbuds in. We're on Stitcher as well, so I think the link is down below. If not, you could find the link over on CobraTVGNN.com. For some reason, you got to put the www dot, otherwise it won't work. I don't get it. But so CobraTVGNN.com, and again, guys, I know we could get pretty heated and upset about the whole no communication. But okay, look at the fact that Hello Games, they're not, what they're doing kind of is upsetting, but, they are working hard on the game. You will get an update. I promise you that. And you're probably going to get it here pretty soon with the next month or 2 or 3 at the most. It's going to come. If you haven't booted up the game for a while, there's something really strange about No Man's Sky to where if you don't play it for a bit and because you got bored or you got upset or whatever, turn it on. If it's been a month or 2, I guarantee you there will be something igniting inside you that will make you be like, why did I quit playing this? And of course, yes, you will get bored again. And, but games, I mean, look how long we've been playing No Man's Sky. I mean, games are meant to, we hop to different games all the time. So, I mean, just give it a shot. Put it in if you haven't played it for a while. See what you think. And let me know how it was over on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll be streaming it later today.
Are you?
Yeah, on
YouTube.
Well, yeah, YouTube because that's, where people watch it. But
right.
Also, if just to let anybody know, if Hello Games has seen the hashtag, has seen what we've said and heard or whatever, I don't expect that. If they want to respond, I don't expect them to respond for a few days because I think they'll want to converse with everybody and, put something out there that's like concise and like written before they just go out and be like, just start posting like crazy. I think they're going to take time to really think about it.
$500 that they will tweet from the Hello Games account the word hello.
Right.
That'd be really cool.
That's fine, honestly. Because that's what I said. I was like, just acknowledge that you've seen this video or seen something.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to respond and don't want to communicate, just acknowledge that you've seen it. So we're not sitting here waiting for something that won't happen.
And also keep in mind, yes, it's upsetting, but they don't owe me anything. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have to. It's their company. I'm just concerned about the perception of their company and when they release another product. That's, at the end of the day, that's the only reason why I'm concerned. One of the biggest reasons why I'm concerned of them not communicating. Their company, their brand, their future. That's it. That's it. That's going to do it, guys. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead. I work third shift, so I'm going to go to bed.
Thank you, Cobra.
Thank you, Cobra, man. I appreciate it, buddy.
All right, guys. All right, everyone, have a good rest of your day. Stay safe. And if you're on the other side of the world, have a good night.
Peace.
See ya.
All right, bye, everybody.